What do the words Brett Baker mean to you?
Icon, legend, leader of men.
Being the assistant editor, I have the first look at the raw footage. Brett is always mentioned. Like, he's mentioned so much. He really is like another hot sauce.
Brett Baker is credibility for Hot Ones. Brett Baker is our own little New York Times review.
It kind of feels like celebrity. It does.
It would have been fairly early on when this guy started tweeting these things out.
After an episode goes out, there's going to be a million people saying that they didn't sauce the wings, that the guest is stupid, get Bill Burr. The silver lining is going to be a really insightful review written by Brett Baker, Hot Ones Superfan.
And then finally, how do you think he'll do with the challenge?
I think he's going to do pretty well, but I hope I'm wrong.
But Sean, when you're doing your intros, when do you hop to the other show?
I know it. I'm good. Hey everybody, what's going on for First We Feast? I'm Brett Baker, and today I'm the host of Hot Ones, the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. Right now, I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend. The reason why I watch every week, you know him as the iron-stomached inquisitor to the stars. I know him as the man that loves me more than friends. Hey Sean, welcome to your show.
And I'm happy that we could finally make this happen, Brett.
You guys hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube, which is one of the reasons why we're doing this. So I'm just lucky enough to be the rep of the fans, so I hope I represent them well. But I am armed with the questions, though, so...
I know, and you have the notes out, and I don't think anyone else could do this interview, Brett, so I'm actually more nervous for this than I have any other Hot Ones shoot ever.
First one, sriracha. I hear it's no big deal.
This is strange being on this side.
Yeah?
I've never seen the labels before.
As with any good myth, there's an origin story. What was the reaction of others, like when you're like trying to explain this to people before it really became a thing?
So it's funny because like one time we dug up the original pitch email and there's only one complex employee that even responded to it. And it was that way the entire time. Like we've always kind of felt that we're this little engine that could, but nobody ever took us that seriously. And then same with the pitch process, like even when we were trying to get celebrities in here, that was always a weird and interesting thing. And there's times like, especially early on, where we'd show up with this circus freak show and have to kind of explain it in real time because it sounds so stupid on paper and it sounds so stupid when you explain it to people. But that said, I feel like we embraced that. Like we liked being the thing that was misunderstood.
Did you immediately get the psychology of what the sauce does? It breaks down barriers. You've interviewed folks, I've interviewed a lot of people, and you know that there's always a veneer. There's a shell that they put out an image they want to project.
You know, we knew it would strip people down. We knew there'd be sweating. We knew there'd be spitting in buckets. We knew that it would be an internet spectacle, but we didn't know that it would yield these incredible interview moments. And that's kind of what's elevated the show and made it a real, legitimate, viable media property, in my opinion, is that it doesn't matter who we drop in here. We're either gonna get crazy reactions, we're either gonna get a breakthrough interview, or we're gonna get some combination of the two.
So a little more origin story, except this time it's on you. You graduated from the University of Illinois less than 10 years ago.
It's true.
If the day you got that cap and gown, walked the stage, you said 10 years from now, where am I gonna be? Is this where you would say?
No. And who would? You know, I was a broadcast journalism major, so there was always this dream or idea that I could be on TV. The thought originally from my professor, shout out John Paul, he said that I was so glib that I should be a weatherman. So I was like, all right, cool. Well, I have to start taking these other science courses or whatever because I'm ever going to be a meteorologist. I need to have this kind of background, and I could be kind of this like local legend weatherman in central Illinois, and that would just kind of be my legacy. I never in a million years would have thought that I'd be in New York City interviewing celebrities over chicken wings and hot sauce. I thought I'd be a weatherman.
Number 3. This is this show about the fans for the fans. So we asked Twitter to fire off some questions, and we've selected a few. Oh, first I guess we have to eat them, right?
Right. You
So
gotta
El Yucateco. So first up, this comes from Electro Spectre. Where did you learn your interview skills, and what is your prep process?
the audience has a high bar. The audience has high expectations. And in this space, it's a very competitive, congested space. So I know that I have to stand out. I know that I have to do things differently. Reading everything about the person and to watching their projects and to reading their books and to deep diving their Twitter and deep diving their Instagram and trying to figure out what they're about, because I'm already coming to them with hot sauces and chicken, you know what I mean? So I have to get them to understand very quickly that this isn't as goofy as it looks on paper.
Miss J_Ruby Red asks, are there pictures of you with a full head of hair?
There are, listen, I just took this off like 3-4 years ago. There's a whole arc. I had like a short sort of 98 degrees gel situation throughout high school. Sometimes I shave it off in the summer for baseball season. Sometimes I let it grow out. It's never gotten too crazy because it curls and does like some weird stuff back here. So I never let it get to that point because it would drive me nuts when I'd start to feather out the back. Brett, as not speaking for you, but as somebody going through the same thing, you're just kind of like, whatever, I'm just gonna bald gracefully and just take it off.
Jasper Mitchell, top 10 hand gestures of all time? Do you have a go-to?
To me, I never really thought about the hand gestures as such a thing. I've always talked with my hands. I've always been like kind of known for that. But then when you're on the internet every day, everybody just kind of takes whatever you are and makes you that thing. So I'm like hand gesture guy, but I've never thought of myself as hand gesture guy. I don't think about these things while they're happening. When I do these big sweeps or whatever, it's just how I'm talking. The hands, they're very much idle hands. They work themselves. You know what I mean? Like I don't think about it.
It's the weatherman coming out in you. Let's see. So that was... All right. Anyway, next question.
So, wait, hold on. So that was 4?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 left. So yeah, now we're at 4. So I'm going to ask question number 4. This is question number 4.
Brett.
Sorry, man.
It's not as easy as it looks, is it?
Is Chili Klaus the actual most interesting man in the world? Because I think he is.
It's when we were doing the carriage ride video, we're just going through and on the Reaper, whatever. We're like, we're gonna eat this Reaper, we're gonna ride around for 10 minutes. It's obviously gonna be a complete meltdown and very good internet. And so I'm just kind of like in this pepper moment. I'm swimming in it, I'm stuck, I'm lost. And it's hard to just kind of keep the show moving, but you gotta say some things, you know what I mean? You gotta keep it moving. So I'm looking around and I just said that, hey, Chili Klaus, I think that's where they shot You Got Mail or whatever I said. And then Chili Klaus just comes in hot with the dad joke and he's like, I think I've got mail. Hot mail. I think that's where they shot You Got Mail.
Wow. I think I also got mail. Hot mail.
And I remember when that hit my ear, I was like, Chili Klaus is such a pro because English is not his first language, yet he just comes sliding in with a dad joke on the spot on a Carolina Reaper in Central Park. And so that's why I think that Chili Klaus is one of the most talented entertainers in the world. Somebody who doesn't get enough credit, but somebody who belongs on that Emmy red carpet. Somebody who belongs at the Oscars. Chili Klaus, way underrated.
Will we see a Sean and Chili Klaus eat a Carolina Reaper 3?
Here's what I'll say.
Because after the first one, you swore you'd never do it again, and then you did it again.
If Chili Klaus makes a persuasive case, the door is open.
You do the deep dive on the Instagram. I decided to go in a little different direction. Because there are some moments in the show that I see your face, and I want to know what's happening in your brain. Because you don't have time to explain it. So these are some of my favorite moments that I've broken down and screen grabbed, and I just want to know what you were thinking.
Okay.
Do you know what show that's from?
This is Bobby Lee pooping his pants. So
like, yeah, as that's happening, he didn't stop talking. You didn't have a chance. So what is happening in your mind brain right then?
that sound in real time was bizarre. You know what I mean? It was like you, I don't know if something can sound lumpy, but that's what it was. It had this like
Perfect.
bass to it. It was like somebody dropped a dumbbell onto like a pile of laundry.
All right.
Okay,
That
this
show.
is...
Trust your gut.
Okay.
You're about to
hold
say
on.
it.
Oh, I can tell. Okay, it's Eric Andre. I know it's Eric Andre because all the sauces are all over the place. So we were like, all we can really do is Eric Andre proof the set. Right. You know what I mean? So we didn't really know what he was gonna break or how he was gonna break it or whatever. So to just have him grab the plate and just go, get some, baby. Like that's what he says, something like that. And he just smashes it over his head. I don't think that there's anything you can do but react like that. Because I don't think we put everything that he broke into the episode. I think he broke other things that just didn't make the episode. But when he left the studio, it was just like, it looked like a tornado had just ripped through because you just see like all of the stunt glass and the plates and like all of this stuff all over the floor. It just looked like a bomb went off. It was crazy.
All right, next up.
Bert Kreischer, shirtless.
One of my favorite, probably, he's not number one on the power rankings, but he's probably like my personal favorite guest. But this is when he thought he was gonna spill his lunch.
That's just the face that you make when you feel like something's gonna happen, but you don't know how and you don't know when. And this table ain't that big.
Right.
So I'm kind of also too like positioning myself to just bail on this whole situation if it happens.
Eject.
Yes.
So this is probably, this is Apocalypse Now. Okay. And this is probably the reason why I'm here. Thank you, Russell Brand. I love you. What was going through your mind when that happened?
Brett Baker, he's a man in Lincoln, Nebraska. Brett, he's a lovely Brett Baker. He's a little list maker. He's a power rank faker. His name's Brett Baker. Brett Baker, value me.
About a third of the way through that song, I realized that, whoa, this is gonna be a full master work. You know what I mean? So you just sit back and kind of enjoy it. And then as a host, you do kind of want to anticipate where the energy is going to drop, like where it's going to, you know, how is it going to finish? How's it going to end? So I was just kind of like fascinated by it. And I'm like, oh my God, is he going to work through all these? And then I kept waiting for him to stumble. And he never stumbled.
Never did.
Either.
Like, it was pure genius.
It was like a dog that broke loose.
It was a weird day for me, too. I don't know why.
Brett Baker, he's a little list maker. He's a power rank faker. His name's Brett Baker.
Yeah, how was it when, I mean, we saw your reaction in real time, but...
Yeah, I mean, it was surreal to watch it, and then, like, and I had to go in and work that day, but I never had that kind of moment, and where my phone just didn't shut up.
You know, you are a speech coach, and you work with high school kids, and you
Shout out Malcolm Clippers, state runner-up.
Hey! Do people sing to you like, Brett Baker?
Yeah, a lot, at least 2 to 3 times a week. And it never fails to make me laugh. It never fails to make me smile.
Brett, that was for you. I've transcended to a world of rhyme. Everything I say now will be poetic until I eventually just shut down my consciousness.
What makes you more angry about other entities ripping off the Hot Ones model? The fact that they do it or that they don't own up to it?
Even though we had celebrities come through, I never felt like we were a big show. You know what I mean? I felt very much like we were a junkyard dog, scrapping it out on the YouTube streets, scratching and clawing for every view that we got. So then to see a Fox Sports Australia blatantly ripping us off was, to me, infuriating. Then on top of that, to see these rugby guys who are basically like the Football Sunday guys on like Fox or CBS, those guys, but the Australian rugby version are like, we're a bunch of crazy guys here and now we have this new show and it's wild because, you know, we're always pushing boundaries here at Fox Sports Australia. The next day, BBC drops the same thing. So I'm like, these are some of the biggest media companies in the world ripping us off. I feel like we do have something special here. The people who work on the show work so hard on it, and it drove me nuts.
What about like a well-intentioned homage?
Those are the best. You know what I mean? Like when I see fans that are doing the show and they're playing with it and they're having fun and it's just like whatever, that's the best. That's the thing. Kids goofing off, having fun, love it. Big media companies slapping their name on this idea without giving any credit, hate it. How you doing, Brett?
I'm pretty good.
You are doing good.
I think, and we talked about this before you started rolling, the thing that helps you maybe, and you probably didn't even realize this, is you're focused so much on the interview, as now I am, that you don't have to think about it. When you were figuring out exactly what Hot One was there anyone that you looked to as inspiration?
Ricky Gervais called it, this is like Charlie Rose meets Jackass. When he said that, I was like, that's the best tagline. That's better than Hot Questions and even Hotter Wings. You know, that's kind of what we've sort of always thought of ourselves as. The people that inspired us, Alexa Chung, who used to do these offbeat interviews on this show called Pop World, she's kind of the Hot Ones queen, so to speak, you know, and what she did is very much in the DNA of what we're doing now. And then outside of that, I was influenced in a big way by Howard Stern. I used to just listen to the Howard Stern show and the Howard Stern interviews, and even if he was talking to somebody who I didn't care about, I always admired his ability to make whoever he's talking to like a fascinating conversation, a sort of edge of your seat thing. So it's just try to like bring it down a level, bring the person down a level and make it a more human, accessible experience. So that's really kind of the Hot Ones DNA if I'm mixing it up. Chris Schoenberger would probably have his own answer to that question, but that's mine.
All right, this one we're gonna test you again. This is Hot Ones trivia. All right?
Yep.
Longest episode, not including Tony Hawk, because that was live.
Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Very good.
Yeah.
26 minutes, 4 seconds.
I took 2 bites, bitch. Did I just say that?
Shortest episode.
Does Tony Yeo count?
Tony Yeo counts. I didn't realize it was the pilot until today, so he counts. The origin of the dab.
Would have been very early. Machine Gun Kelly?
Boom! Nailed it.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Before, I don't want to put my dab on there. I think that's fine. I think what I got is fine right there.
All right, bro, I'm dabbing up. You're not gonna dab up? Dude, fuck you.
Oldest and youngest guests.
Oldest guest is Tommy Chong.
77.
Now we're talking.
Youngest guest, Martin Garrix.
Very good. 20. Nailing it. When did the Hot One sauce make its debut? Who was the guest?
Would it be at the beginning of the season or would it be in the middle of the season? It would be very Hot Ones to just put it in the middle of the season. Was it Currency?
It was not. Joey Fatone.
Joey Fatone.
Joey Fatone was the first one. Yep. April 7th, 2016 was at least that was the day it was uploaded to YouTube. Wow. Next trivia question. Only you know the answer to. This is from the staff. How many hoodies do you own?
Oh.
Because I just have this image of,
Yes.
of a closet full of 97 hoodies, all slightly less different than the next.
I think we've shot about 80 episodes.
Yeah.
And I probably wear hoodies in like 3/4 of them.
Easily, yes.
So that would lead me to believe. And then, you know, there's obviously hoodies in my closet that I've never worn on the show. So that would take my total number of hoodies, if I were to estimate, at about 55 hoodies. I must have like 55 hoodies.
All right, so I guess, well, that's that. So now we are on to the moment of truth, the last one. So I don't know if you know it, but it's tradition around
I
here.
love that you're taking the wheel.
That we dab these. I will say I'm a fan of the schmear instead of the dab,
We've had
which
a
I
couple
also
people
agree with
schmear.
that.
Yeah.
I like
are you
that.
gonna schmear?
No, if I'm here and I'm doing it for the fans,
Yes.
I gotta do it. You know, the proper way. So let's go. I don't want it to be too crazy.
That is a little crazy.
There we go. Yeah, well, you know, we came this far. What the heck? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. I'm only imagining the kind of music Murphy's going to put under this.
Brett, you're handling this very well, way better than our celebrities do.
Well, you know, if you ever need a pinch, like you get, wow, you did put a lot less on there. Well, I guess you're the guest now. You can do that. There's no rules.
Yeah, I have nothing to
Well,
prove.
maybe I'll do the schmear and the dab.
Yeah,
there
yeah,
we go.
yeah.
All right, all right.
All right,
Here's
bud.
to ya. The one good thing at this point is I think I've already drank everything that's been cleared out of my nose, so I don't have anything left, which is good. But I agree. Oftentimes you talk about the The bomb is the worst. I agree. I think that one's got a lot more sting to it than these two.
I wanted to ask you like so many questions like that. Maybe I still will because because now that you've sat here, it's not my show, it's your show, Brett. Let's attack some conspiracy theories here.
Excellent.
So cold Wingate. You know, everybody always is like Hot Ones fans. They get so worked up about the wings all the time.
Right.
The wings better than you thought they'd be, worse than you thought they'd be, colder than you thought they'd be, warmer than you thought they'd be.
I think they're about what I expected. So we've been talking for a long time, and I don't know how long this episode will run, but
they're gonna get kind of room temperature at some point.
It's not like you're sitting down at your wing joint and you're firing them down. And by the way, they're not served cold. There is a heater back there, so they actually come out hot. I can verify that now.
As a man of the people, you know, because the DJ Khaled episode is probably the most divisive. You know what I mean? There's one comment that's like, this is the best Hot Ones episode ever. There's the next comment, this is the worst thing. This is the worst video on the internet ever. Where do you fall on that scale? Somewhere on the spectrum? Where are you on DJ Khaled Hot Ones?
It's tough because Chris knows my barometer really for the rankings, and people always ask about that, is can the history of the show be told without that person?
I love that.
And the history of Hot Ones can't be told without Khaled because he is such a big star, and he did take such a punk way out. Like, just do it, man.
I can't. Nah, I'm gonna be fucked up for the whole day. How am I supposed to talk to anybody after this?
We did it.
We did it.
We did it. I did it. Yeah. So there you go. How do you feel?
I feel great. You know, I have to be real with you. This is like, I've never been more nervous for a shoot than I was for this one, just because I knew that you would bring the heat. And I do want to say, like, I don't know if I'm taking plug time right now, but I just want to say that I want to say thank you for coming out. And then the other thing is, you know, maybe the biggest of all is I want to just thank the Hot Ones fans who have stuck with us through a lot, from season 1 to season 2, all the way through season 3, and hopefully beyond that even.
So do I get a plug even though I did the interview?
I want, yeah.
All right.
This camera.
Hey, look, you heard I'm a speech coach. Support the fine arts in your community, high schools, junior highs, drama, speech, whatever it is, band, music. We all put a lot of energy and time into football, basketball, baseball, track, and those are all awesome things that do great things for our kids. But so do the fine arts. So if you're a parent, if you're somebody who's involved in your community, support the fine arts.
Well said, Brad.
There we go.
Are you good with hot food?
Well, I thought maybe I was, but I know immediately that I'm not going to be after that first hairy wing.
I bet you're going to be good with it.
Hey, what's going on, Hot Ones fans? If you liked the video, maybe meet us halfway. Throw us a subscribe. If you didn't like the video, don't subscribe. I don't want you. I don't want you in the tent. But if you like the video, subscribe. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I love you. More than a friend.